right, so you can see I've already set up in Sketchbook Pro my 4 thumbnails. You're only going to do 4 this time because I really want you to take your time and make them more detailed and really think about the composition. And you can see I started having fun with my drawings, and so I got a little bit more detailed because I do like drawing. The name of this magazine that I'm doing for my thumbnails is Moxie. Anybody know what the word Moxie means?
No.
Will? You have no idea? Kind of like Foxy.
Girly.
It's closer to swag, actually. Yeah, it is.
So now you're giant.
It's kind of like having courage to do stuff.
Oh, that's completely different.
Swagger. That's right.
Yeah. All right, I need your attention up here, please. Yes.
Did you draw this?
I did draw these. Okay, and that's what I'm gonna show you right now, how you can do the same thing.
Have you ever heard of Moxie Girl?
That's probably the same thing as this. Okay. All
Nice.
right. So the name of the magazine is Moxie. You can see 2 different ideas for mastheads up here. One uses the background and has white around it, and then one has a pink background with white text. You can see in this thumbnail I was using that idea that we saw last time where the photo kind of comes in front of the masthead. Of course, because your magazine is not as recognizable, you want to be careful about that because this kind of looks like movie, right?
That's it, I thought you
Okay, we want to be able to see the whole masthead. All right. The theme is birthday. Okay, you might have a birthday coming up. That's a big event in your life, and so the cover image and the feature article would relate to each other. And then for the smaller articles, I did just use, if I make it bigger, I did use lines here just to indicate that this is where the smaller articles would go. All right, so I'm going to demonstrate here how to make a little bit more detailed of a cover, and maybe show you a couple things in Sketchbook Pro that you probably have been using, but just in case that you didn't know they existed. One thing is layers, and this can really help you when you're drawing. I have one layer here that has all of my squares on it, so I'm going to use that one to fill in the background. And if you come up here to your brush, you have obviously different options for color. There we go. But also right here you have the paint bucket. So I'm going to do another pink, maybe a darker pink one for this one. And it will fill in what inside of whatever shape that you have. You need to have a border, otherwise it would fill in the whole entire layer. All right, then I'm going to work on another layer on top of that to create my masthead, and that'll allow me to move it around if I want. Or to put a color, to change this color that's behind it. And I'm going to do something different. Before I drew the rectangles, but this time I'm just going to use a lighter pink color. Obviously this is probably a girls magazine with all the pink. Moxie to me seems more like a girl's word. That's probably kind of strange. I don't know why Moxie would be a girl's word. But I definitely feel like we would use swag or something like that for boys.
This is Andy?
Yes.
Are you going to be showing this to like other classes?
Yes.
Alright.
So when you're drawing, you just want to take your time. And as you can see here, I'm not writing in my own handwriting. I'm kind of being a little bit more purposeful about it. And as you think about the typeface, think about what type of typeface you want to use, whether it's script, sans serif, or serif. And then you can just draw that in there. And you can see I can go over the letters to make them thicker, just to give me an idea of the type of typeface. And this isn't perfect. I'm not looking for it to be perfect. Okay, so there's a different idea for the masthead. Then on a different layer, I'm going to draw my cover image. And I'm going to show you how to draw a person. And I'm going to start with the skin color. Skin color is kind of a light, dull orange color. And of course you know about the radius and the opacity. I'm using the brush because that makes a nice... Yeah, there we go. Alright, so everyone can draw an oval. You can add the neck in. The neck is actually almost as large as the head. And then if they're wearing a shirt to where some of the chest or the neck shows, you want to include that. Going to add in the shirt. Let's give it a black shirt this time. Now there is a shorter way for adjusting your brush. You can go up here to the top and adjust it here, or you can click on this circle and drag it left or right to make the size bigger or smaller, or you can drag up and down to adjust the opacity. So that's a much easier, quicker way of doing that.
How did you get so good at drawing?
Lots of practice, really.
I tried practice.
I'm trying to draw these things.
Well, think of how old I am and think of how old you are.
It's going downhill.
Why isn't it colored?
I have a problem in my iPad right here, so I always have to work around that. I always have to like move this up.
You went underneath the lines.
Oh, I did go outside the line.
Still going outside.
Oh yeah, down here? Yeah, that's okay. Okay, so there's the background for my person. Now here's the trick. You want to actually work on another layer on top of that to draw the facial features. And for this I use a pencil. I make it a lot, that's huge, make it a lot smaller, and turn the opacity way down. And for facial features, you want to go for a skin color. And if you've already set the color for something, you might have noticed you can put your pen down and it'll give you this target and it will pick up that color. Okay. So I'm going to use a darker version of that same color. And then when you're drawing a face, you want to really zoom in. The eyes on the face are right in the middle of the head. A lot of times we might draw them up here, but that's because we're forgetting about the hair. So you want to kind of approximate the middle of the oval. And then, oop, that's the opacity is a little bit too far down on that. Go up.
Those eyes or eyebrows?
These are eyes.
I can't draw an eye.
Okay.
My friends have tried. They're oval.
Okay, really all you need for these sketches is, you could even just do an oval or a football shape, either one. Okay. Alright, so yeah, these are a little bit off, but again. And then if the chin is about here, then the nose is going to be halfway. So right about here. And it's usually as wide as the corner of the eyes. And normally what we see of the nose is just the sides of the nose, and then I actually have to erase this little part. And then depending on the person's nose, we can either see nostrils or sometimes we see the tip of the nose. Okay? And then the mouth is halfway between the nose and the chin. And it would be good to add some eyebrows in here. Alright, so there's a basic person. I actually found this really cool tool right here. This line tool is really good for drawing hair. Yeah, you could go in and do more details on the eyes and stuff like that. Yeah, right now you can't tell if it's a guy or a girl, right?
It looks like a girl. No, it looks like a guy with bangs.
Give her some long hair.
It's a girl or a creeper guy. What color would it be? A guy with long hair, you know, like rock.
Oh, it looks green on the screen. How funny.
What color is it?
It's like brown.
Where's your chin?
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back to the underlayer and pick up that skin color again. Make it just a little bit darker. And then make it very, very opaque, very transparent, I mean. Okay, and now this is the part that I'm not really expecting you to do. This would be for a drawing class if you want to take drawing and painting next year. You would learn how to shade. Okay. Now obviously I took a lot more time to blend and to add details when I was doing these other ones.
It looks like she has some sort of disease.
It looks really bad up there on the screen, it does. Okay. Also, guys, I need your attention, please. Thank you.
Do you edit these videos?
Okay, also when I was drawing this first one down here, I drew this out of my head, and that's kind of why it looks blank, right? This one I was actually looking at a photo. So that's a clue too. But again, it doesn't even need to be this detailed. But I want you to think about the placement. So is the head going to go over the masthead at all? Is it going to be placed right in the center? Are you going to have more than one person? Like 3 people? How are you going to arrange that? Is there going to be another object like a cake or a prop or something like that? And then finally, you're going to need to add in where the feature article text and the other articles will go, as well as the barcode. Questions? CJ?
Do you have to make it in your magazine?
You are going to take the photo yourself. Okay?
We didn't take ourselves?
No, you are going to be the photographer.
Wait, are we going to
Okay? So,
what do we take a
so the answer to that question is no, you do not have to have a person, but you do have to take the photograph yourself. And most magazines use people on the cover. There's some exceptions. If you want to take a picture of some food, but you'll have to also bring in the food. Where are you going to get the food to take the picture of? I guess you could take the photo at home or at the restaurant or whatever. Okay? All right, so get to work on brainstorming first and then your sketches. Brainstorming is due this class.